Hi, today I want to talk about something that has been on my mind quite a lot lately, which is why is change so damn hard? It's the new year and you have made a bunch of resolutions to change yourself, but over a period of time, things fizzle out. Or you have read this great self help bestseller and had these profound epiphanies, and you think that your life is going to change. But again, over a period of time, status quo remains. Why is that? Hi, I'm Shankar, a corporate leader by day and a contemplative observer by nature. For the longest time, I've been fascinated by how we grow, what makes us tick, and what connects us. In this channel, I endeavor to bring to life my lifelong journey of reflection. I bring perspectives shaped by my diverse experiences, decades of introspection, and decades of consuming books, podcasts, and courses on self-development. I hope these videos offer thoughts on seeing your own path a little differently, or give you time to pause and reflect, or just connect you with ideas that matter. Today, we're going to talk about change. Do we really change, or do we just evolve? When does genuine transformation happen? Over the next 10 minutes or so, I want to tackle these questions, not as somebody who has all the answers, but as a fellow traveler on this confusing journey called life. There are going to be 3 parts to this. Number 1, why we resist change. Number 2, what's the difference between evolution and transformation. Number 3, how do we navigate what I call as the messy middle. So, if you've ever felt that you're stuck or that the life overhaul that you planned didn't happen, stick with me and we will explore deeper on this subject. The resistance to change. First of all, let's make one thing very clear, a simple truth, but which is also very profound. Change is uncomfortable, very uncomfortable. Why? There is a quote by Mahatma Gandhi which goes something like this. Your beliefs become your thoughts become your words become your actions become your habits become your values, and your values become your destiny. So you see, when you want to change at any given stage, it will affect the rest of this link. Now you can see why change is so difficult. I'm reminded of this beautiful Eagles song that I love, Lying Eyes, where she realizes at the end that circumstances have changed. She is the same old girl you used to be. This captures the profoundness of how circumstances may change in life, but you still carry your essential self. There are 3 main reasons for this. Number 1, our brains are efficiency machines. The neural pathways in our brains are something similar to a subway system on a busy city. Commuters get in the train every day and they take the same route and reach their destination. So suddenly, if a subway station were to close and you expect the commuters to seamlessly adapt to a different route, that's not going to happen. There is going to be confusion, there's going to be frustration, and even resistance. This is not just poetic, but this is the neurological reality. The second reason for the difficulty of change is that change threatens our sense of identity. We build these elaborate stories about who we are. I'm a morning person. I'm not a morning person. I'm the funny one in the group. I've always been bad with money. These kinds of narratives are not just narratives, but they become our identity, almost like old sweaters that we wear, but we don't realize that these sweaters can be taken off. And there's something fascinating here. Research has shown that the more rigid you hold on to your identities, the more difficult it is for you to change. That makes sense, right? So if someone were to say, this is who I am, or this is how I've always been, chances are that those people will not be very flexible. And third, change always requires you to face uncomfortable truths. Carl Jung said that until the unconscious becomes conscious, the unconscious will guide your life and you will call it as fate. Think about someone who constantly buys clothes and reorganizes their wardrobe, even if when they don't need those clothes. Or someone who blames the phone for their distraction, while in reality, they are the ones who are not comfortable to sit in idle thought. Sometimes what blocks change isn't just laziness, but it is those dusty corners where we are afraid of what it will reveal if the light shines on it. Now let's tackle the question of, do we really change in terms of an evolution, or can we also have a genuine transformation? The answer is both. Gradual change happens on a day-to-day basis through imperceptible daily actions. In his bestseller Atomic Habits, James Clear talks about how every habit starts with a simple idea or a simple step taken, and through compound interest over a period of time, you will see massive transformation. So that is about evolution. Coming to transformation, transformation is where there is a before and an after. The person that you were and the person that you are now, which are very different. Now, this typically happens three different circumstances. Number one, transformation follows crisis. Think of a situation where you had a health scare, a major health scare which makes you re-look at your entire health-related habit, or a career setback that you face that makes you reevaluate entire path. Sometimes we don't choose change, it's thrust upon us. Think of a manager who had to lay off his entire team and reinvent his or her leadership style in the new org. Viktor Frankl, a renowned psychiatrist, said that when we are no longer able to change a situation, we are forced to change ourselves. These changes are often painful but very profound. Sometimes our greatest transformations happen when we have least choice in the matter. Number two, transformation follows sustained practice. This is the kind of transformation which is gradual, but you are making a sustained attempt to change. It is making different daily choices on a day-to-day basis. Every time you're hungry, instead of having an unhealthy snack, you have a healthy snack. Now, these things, once you repeat for a long period of time, the new neurological pathways are established and transformation happens. Number three, transformation follows pattern recognition. The universe puts us in these situations or patterns until there is a lesson that needs to be learned is learned. For example, you may end up with a similar kind of difficult colleagues at different workplaces, or in family gatherings, you may have a similar kind of arguments year over year. So these are patterns that basically are a sign that the universe is giving for you that there is some learning to be integrated. As Albert Einstein said, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing again and again and expecting different results. So it's best that we observe these patterns and learn those lessons so that those patterns no longer appear in our life. Navigating the messy middle. Now we'll talk about how we will navigate what I call as messy middle, which is basically the period when this transformation is happening, when you're neither your old self nor your new self. First, embrace the dissonance. So there will be dissonance during this period. You may feel that what you're doing is against your self-identity. Now this is going to make you uncomfortable, but this is part of the process. It's like you trying to rearrange your living room furniture, and halfway down that process, you have this urge to put everything back in its place because you're not able to go through the whole thing. So it's a similar feeling, but it's important to realize that this discomfort is part of the process and is a sign of growth. This brings us to the second strategy. Recognize that authentic change means temporary homelessness. You are in between apartments. You have moved out of the old one, but you have not established yourself in the new apartment. So there is this emotional homelessness that you feel, which makes you very uncomfortable. Again, the strategy is to lean into it and see through it. Third, find sustenance in small evidences. You need to encourage yourself when you're going through transformations by finding how your progress is being seen. For example, you may notice that you're no longer reacting with anger for something that used to trigger you 6 months back or a year back. Or you realize that you were not able to run for 5 minutes, but now you're able to run for 30 minutes without an issue. So find these kinds of motivating or encouraging signs to continue your transformation. Sometimes the most profound changes or transformation can also happen within the confines of the same external environment. In conclusion, do we change or do we evolve? Or are we capable of genuine transformation? The answer is all of the above. Realize that change and transformation will include a lot of uncomfortableness, which is part of the process. Most of this change or growth resembles that of water flowing and shaping stone. It flows continuously, and day-to-day basis we may not see the change, but over a period of time, water can shape stone. Bruce Lee famously said, "Be like water, my friend," and he was talking about this adaptability. The question isn't about which is better, evolution or transformation. The question is about, are you willing and brave enough go through the discomfort to come out on the other side? Finally, what I believe is the most genuine transformation is not about becoming somebody else, but actually becoming what you have always been inside under your armor. Like Michelangelo said of his sculpting process, "I saw an angel in that stone and I carved until I set him free." Most of the genuine change is more about revealing yourself rather than becoming somebody else. Thank you for spending this time with me today. I'm Shankar, and I hope this video offered new perspective or a moment of reflection. Until next time, be gentle with yourself while you grow. Bye-bye.